What's going on, guys? It's Justin from Push and Profit. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about 4 stocks that offer a great opportunity to make a profit. Now, recently, the market had a major sell-off, specifically the NASDAQ. And then recently, right after that sell-off, we had a great bounce. I know a lot of people were panicking during that sell-off. They were worried about what to do, right? Which is very common. It happens often. I've seen it so many times, right? Which is why you want to stick to a plan. So in this video, we're going to talk about 4 stocks. We're going to give a game plan and, talk about why these offer a great opportunity to make that purchase. So with that being said, guys, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, because it really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the laptop. So the first stock that we're going to talk about is NIO stock. Now, NIO stock recently just had their earnings reports. Now, earning reports often are overreaction plays where, the stock often overreacts to whatever the earnings was. Now, the earnings was a bad earnings because NIO just fell down in the numbers by just a smidge, right? But again, earnings are often overreactions. And also we have to take into consideration that ticker symbol LI, which is a Chinese EV competitor to NIO, recently last week had a good report happen. So in combination of them having a good report and then NIO having a bad report, you can imagine NIO is just going to tank. So we're going to go ahead and look into the charts for NIO. So if we take a look at NIO from a 1-hour chart, if we kind of just zoom in a little bit, we see this big red candle that occurred in the after hours for March 1st, and that is simply just because of the bad earnings report. Now, again, I do have a separate video just explaining how to take advantage of bad earning reports, but again, it's really just to simplify it, buying the dip. Of course, you want to buy the dip when there's signs of an uptrend. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and just look at NIO from a broader perspective, right? So right here, we're looking at NIO from the 4-hour chart, and we see that NIO ran up, moved sideways, ran up, moved sideways. Then we had this big sell-off, and again, we had a big sell-off from the overall market recently. And then we could, if we just kind of zoom in, see that NIO, bounced off the linear regression channel, sold off, bounced off the linear regression channel, and we were moving towards an uptrend until we had this, bad earnings report. So really, what I'm looking forward to see is if NIO can just break above $48.40, just to show a sign of a confirmation that, we're not just going to continue going down and that we are, in fact, going to continue moving in an uptrend. If that is confirmed, then, there's a few areas where we could take profits. We could take profits either if we want to be very conservative, around, $51.65. We could take profits at around $56.75, around this area, or, which is a 180-day simple moving average, or we could also take profits at the middle linear regression channel for the 4-hour chart, right? So again, it's really up to you whether you want to make it a longer or shorter swing trade play. But at the end of the day, you want to mitigate your risk, because so often I see this happen where a trader will see a stock go up to a price target that I mentioned in the video, and they won't lock in profits. Meaning, of course, if it touches this area and it continues going up, you're probably going to want to hold in, to see if it goes up further, or you're going to want to lock in profits. Or if it touches this price area that I mentioned and then it starts going down, you want to mitigate your risk and at least lock in your profits before it actually goes further down to the area below where you purchased it at, so then you end up at a loss. And then sometimes I see individuals turn into bag holders where the stock keeps going down and they're just holding the bag, right? So again, you're going to want to mitigate your risk, sell and take profits off the table whenever you can. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the next ticker. Now, the next ticker that we're going to be talking about is going to be WKHS, which is Workhorse stock. Now, if we take a look into Workhorse, we see a massive sell-off. Specifically, this is probably one of the largest candles I've recently seen, really on the 23rd, and that was from Workhorse losing the contract with the U.S. Post Office and them going with a rival competitor, right? So they lost the anticipated contract to work, and build a bunch of, new fleets for the U.S. Post Office, and that's what caused that that downtrend, right? Now, Workhorse said that they are going to have discussions with the U.S. Post Office to see if a decision can be, appealed and, changed. So that's something to look forward to. But also, even if it doesn't get that contract, Workhorse still has a lot of potential just because of the Joe Biden administration administration, who is looking forward to, having more American electric vehicles running through the, US economy, right? So with that being said, there's still hope for Workhorse. And now on the technical standpoint, we see that Workhorse honestly has just sold off to the point where we're at the bottom linear regression channel right now. I know there's a bunch of lines on the screen, but let's just go ahead and focus on the orange line over here, which is the linear regression channel. And we could see, if we just, zoom in, that it held above it. So we just see that, as long as we could keep holding above this area, we have a long way to go. We have about almost 100% gain that we can make with Workhorse. So definitely check that out. I think this is one of our greater plays for this video, but I'm gonna also discuss two other stocks. Next, we got to talk about good old JMIA. Right now, JMIA has been a stock that I have mentioned on a few previous videos, and it's basically a stock that I'm very bullish on. It's really just the Amazon of Africa, right? Really, just to put it in simple terms, and it's something that again has been trending tremendously up, right? But again, JMIA recently had this major sell-off occur. And I'm trying to get this out the screen, but JMIA had this major sell-off occur, and it really wasn't, just due to anything from JMIA. Obviously, the whole tech sector just sold off, so it wasn't something that JMIA could help. But I want to point out where JMIA is at and where is it bouncing from. So if we kind of just, draw a line right over here, we could see that JMIA sold off, bounce off this area of support. And the reason I say this is support is because you can see it was support over here and resistance over here in the past. Bounced up, then trended downwards, and then bounced off that area again. So this is definitely a strong support and something that we have to keep our eye on. Now if we kind of just zoom in a little, and if I could just change this real quick so we could just kind of zoom in, we could see that JMIA is above the exponential moving average. So again, I'm very bullish on JMIA. I do still think that JMIA could honestly go above $61 and actually go up to $67 back to the peak, and even actually go up further higher, right? But again, we just want to ride up the trend, and also if it does start to go down, obviously lock in our profits. But again, this wasn't something that was caused because of JMIA. This was just something that was the overall market selling off, as we saw earlier in the beginning of the video, with the whole Nasdaq selling off and bouncing back up. Lastly, I want to take a look at ticker symbol PLTR. Now this is really a ticker symbol that I'm purely looking at it from a technical standpoint. There's not really any big catalyst news that could really affect the uptrend of the stock. I mean, there is one thing where we have ARK Invest buying millions and millions of shares into this, doing basically a simple dip buy. So in reality, I guess there is news for this, but in reality, the reason that ARK is buying into PLTR is pretty much the same reason why I would recommend buying PLTR, and it's just based off the technicals. We have this major dip, and it just looks like this is just a good opportunity to buy in. We see that it is uptrending after ARK invested by those millions of shares. So again, we do have a small little catalyst of a big fund buying into this stock, but we also just have the pure technical play where it's just simply buying the dip, nothing much. But again, this is also just another cause of the overall market selling off. So we really just got to take advantage of this big sell-off and just see it as an opportunity to buy in and make some solid swing trades and make some awesome profits. With that being said, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and also consider hitting that link in the description below. It's going to be the first link in the description to join our free Facebook group. It's the Push and Profit Facebook group, and essentially it's just a community of individuals interested in trading in the stock market, where if you ask the question, it will either be I or another individual in the group that can help answer any questions you have on the stock market. And also why not just be a part of a community of people sharing the same interests, right? Also in this group, I typically upload a nightly watch list of stocks that offer potential to make a profit. So with that being said, you might want to just check that out. And with that being said, again, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next video.